Welcome back to Frontline Eurosports Online. Your host Nate Jennings has our first 2017 Ducati Scrambler Desert Sled with our man Jason here. Traveled a great distance to work with us. Congratulations, man! So we're going to go over your Desert Sled in its entirety, starting at the front, working our way around the bottom, getting the handlebars and instrumentation last. So we have these specific Pirellis. So they are a Scorpion Rally STI that was built for you. Well, for this bike for you, Jason. So they're going to be set up with a more of the sand presentation as it is the Desert Sled, but they have a great grab on the street as well as off-road on these luscious gold rims that are in a 19-inch configuration in the front. They have a recommendation of 31.9 pounds in the front, 31.9 pounds in the rear, which is on a placard on the side that we can check out right here. So we are going to have a hydraulic dampening system. The biggest upgrade for the Scrambler is the fact that this has adjustable suspension. None of the predecessor models had that option for us, which this is basically replacing the Urban Enduro. Another characteristic we have of the Urban Enduro is that high fender. We come with a headlight guard on this beast. We come back to its 805cc displacement power plant, which is going to be 75 horsepower, 50 foot-pounds of torque. Very linear, very usable and functional. It has an external oil cooler on it, as it is air oil cooled, but you can see that over on the left-hand side right here. Back here is just a bunch of EPA stuff that we can do what we need to with it. We are going to have our beautiful twin that is air-cooled sitting right here, and our serviceability is simple and easy to access. We have an oil fill, an oil sight glass, a spin-on filter located underneath our bash plate on this beast, and that is hidden behind our exhaust. Our exhaust can be easily upgraded with all kinds of options from Ducati, and there's some other aftermarket options obviously, but Ducati makes some awesome Termagani exhaust systems for this. We have our rear brake pedal right here and our collapsible foot peg, which I have major appreciation for. It actually has a rubber insert, which is another upgrade over what most of the other models have. This is the big change right here, this little section. This is an additional portion of the frame that they added to reinforce it to make it a lot sturdier motorcycle, be more compliant off-road, and take that abuse that you're going to be throwing out because you are an old motocross racer, right? We're going to kill it. We're going to kill it. Good. That's what we like to do, man. So coming back to our awesome looking swing arm, and it's going to have a chain adjuster block on it, our hollow axle. So it is a chain driven machine. We need to do services or preventative maintenance to our chain, and we need to keep tension properly adjusted on that. Our steel braided brake line going to the back here is going to hit up on our Brembo rear brake caliper. We have our correlating Rally STR tire on the back, and hidden underneath the seat is our LED brake lamp assembly back here. Clear turn signals for our aesthetic pleasure with amber bulbs to be 50 state compliant. I like how our shock is exposed, giving us easy accessibility to some damping values and our preload adjustments. As I snag the key out of the lock cylinder up front here, we have a key lock cylinder under the bottom right there. That's going to allow us to remove the seat. You got something in your hand. It's your registration. You want to put it somewhere. So once we get under the saddle, we have a nice tool kit that's going to be available. I would suggest throwing it in right there. And Ducati hooks this up. This is an actual tool kit. A lot of machines don't come with toolkits anymore. Like, hey Jay, nice bike. Let's sell you something else. Let's get you a tool kit. The Scrambler line of Ducatis has already hooked that up for us. So we're going to slip that right back in here. As we look up from here, we have our USB port accessibility, nice and easy to find under the saddle right there. We're going to have the brains, the ABS, and our battery. Other components underneath that cover that we can't pull off right now, so we're not going to. To slip our seat on, like every other motorcycle that you've owned, we're going to slide it on the front right here. Make sure that we have a good grasp slipping on the back, and we are solid and ready to rock and roll. We'll take our key on the back. Stick it back into our ignition. Coming down this side, we have a 6-speed gearbox. So we have 1 down, 5 up, Heim joint adjustment, so we can make adjustability for our feet and make sure it fits us properly. We do have a side stand. The side stand is going to have a safety switch on it that's going to kill the engine if you try to take off in first or second gear. Just kicks it off nice and easy for us. Not a lot more for me to show you except for little things like our spark plugs on the side of the engine. Everything else is pretty well concealed. And and allows us to go up to some of the other nice things that we get. We have these side plates on the tank with red embellishment and around behind that. These are actually components that we can change and get different covers for if we want to go camo or something crazy like that. As we get more forward on the machine, we're going to have our handlebars and controls. We have a conventional twist throttle with half waffle grips, as you can see here. We have our cables here, our steel braided brake lines going to the front Brembo radial mounted caliper with a floating rotor. And you can see an extra little pickup and cog right there. That's monitoring our ABS system, as you do have a switchable ABS element. One of the cool things about the ABS on the Desert Sled is that when you turn it off, it stays off. Turn the bike back on, it'll come on with ABS off, and that way you can continue to play in that nature as it is designed as a more off-road motorcycle. You're going to find yourself there a lot. We love how the kill switch slides over the start button, so it's pretty self-explanatory. Where's my start button? Well, let me turn my run cycle switch on. The manufacturers are getting smart for the people that aren't getting any smarter. We have our horn button down at the bottom right here, which is the easiest location to find a horn. It's really simple and close to your grip, so it's easy to access. Turn signals left and right, pushing in for cancelization. An upper and a lower button will show you when you turn the bike on. High beam is a push down. Intermittent flashes of high beam. So high beam, low beam, high, 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 high. We have adjustability, which is with a quick adjuster for our clutch. So we want to keep and maintain at least an 1/8 of an inch or a nickel's play between the perch and the perch lever. And then a quick way to do that is with our quick adjuster, which will do a little tick, tick, tick. You can hear it going from notch to notch. We can turn these handlebars and turn the key and turn our steering column lock on and not be able to steer our motorcycle if you forget. Try to push it around. Or we can now take our key, turn it clockwise, and turn the machine on for the first time. Jason? So we have now illuminated our instrumentation. We have our ABS light that's on right here. We have our neutral light. We have an oil light and other engine lights that come on and go away once you start the motorcycle. We have a timepiece up top side. We have our ambient air temperature right here. We're gonna have our speedometer, side stand warning, and across the bottom is our bar graph tachometer. I really think the sweet spots on these motorcycles are really that 4,000 to 6,000 RPM areas where it's a nice, comfortable, you're into power, you don't have any lugging characteristics or anything to that nature. You don't feel like you're getting into the super rippy part. And we can finagle through these guys with these buttons down here. The lower button, we tap it over to our odometer or to our trip. If you want to clear it out, we just hold that button down and it'll, nope, I went too far, I'm sorry. Let me get back out of there. So we can go back to our trip meters and clear those beasts out. And then we can go back to ambient air temperature. If we take that same button and hold that lower button down, that's what I accidentally did, was hold that button down too long, which takes us into our menus. That's where we're gonna have accessibility to our pin code, clock, our backlighting, our battery, units of measurement, and most importantly, the one you can manipulate, ABS. We enter that by holding down that gray button. Now we can turn our ABS on and off. I'm going to exit back out of the menu because we want our ABS on and off, but we can go in there and just hold that booger down until it brings up our menu. There we go. Get up to the off flashing and then hold it down. And it'll switch it over to off here in a hot second. It should. I had the same problem with this in the, menu, in the video that you watched me. Let me hold that button, see if we're going to do it there. There we go. Holding the silver button, once you get off flashing, for an extended period of time, we'll turn it off. We can leave it off because you're getting ready to go out and play in the mountains that we showed you around here. So we'll go ahead and leave that off. Just hit the exit button, click over here, hit exit again. We get back to our main menu button. We do have one last thing, which is adjustability on the brake lever over here. I didn't hit you up on when we started on the left-hand side. So just making incremental changes to what reach we want to get to our front brake lever. So play with that and find what you're like and what makes you happy. Our fuel filler is also protected and using the same key, giving us accessibility to our fuel. So slip that down, close it back off. We're going to see if you have any questions for us on your 2017 Ducati Desert Sled.
None at all.
Excellent. You want to give it a start?
Yeah, let's start.
Jason's a character, man. We like this guy. Let's take it outside and give it a start.
All
All right. Jason's bringing his own Desert Sled out. He is excited and ready to rock and roll. That's cool right there, man. That's a good spot. Got the key in the ignition for you.